the grey matter. Mary Alice.
Hello.
Welcome.
Thank you.
How are you, Mary?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me today. It's good to be here in New York City with you.
Welcome.
It's exciting.
Beauty Voyage. That's the name.
Beauty Voyage, yeah.
What's the thought behind it?
So voyage is like a wish, right? When you say bon voyage, it means like have a good journey, have a good trip. And so we want beauty professionals to have a good career. So Beauty Voyage is about building a good, lasting, exciting career and having an adventure at the same time.
So does it replace any of the older models of mentorship?
Not really. It doesn't replace. So our thing is that we love all education, and we don't think that like there's good, there's bad, but it's like the model that wasn't working is what we're trying to reinvent. So apprenticeship was really burning a lot of people in the beauty industry, and that is what we're reimagining. But of course, there will still be people that apprenticeship will work for, and there will always be other things that like some people will use certain models till the end of time. So we're not trying to replace anything, we're trying to add more value.
Yeah, and it's a model, what I understand it's a tech-only model, or is it a hybrid model where you have IRLs as well as online mentorship?
Both hybrid.
It's hybrid.
Yeah, so mostly we wanted to start, since it's a felt sense industry, we're people that, it's textile, we work behind the chair, we work in hands-on industry, and so we wanted people to be in person because of that, because that's just how we're used to learning, that's how we're used to serving, that's how our customers interact with us. And then during COVID, we realized that if you were going to go and travel across from, I'm from Alaska, if you were going to go to New York.
How is it in Alaska?
Tell us about Alaska.
Yes, we'll go back to that. If you're going to go across the country to invest in a mentor, you might want to meet them first, or you might want to ask them some questions ahead of time. And so the calls they're called chairside chats, is the virtual sessions. And they were sort of born out of the pandemic because that's what we were doing anyway.
Yeah.
And then also they were just sort of like an added free service, and also something that you can do once
like
you follow up. Yeah.
So my question is for Khurram. Khurram, we've been speaking about AI. Actually, everyone's been speaking about
Yeah.
AI. So how do you see, as a tech guy, what happens to platforms like Beauty Voyage, when there's peer-to-peer, mentor-to-mentor, mentee in a way, or two humans interacting and speaking about beauty and learning? At what point does AI take
AI
over?
basically...
I'm creating problems for you.
Good. I have these questions.
Yeah, so basically AI helps you in developing and making it live very quickly. So that is one efficiency which will increase. And second part is marketing and business development. So with AI for these kind of platforms, where like B2B and B2B2C, you can do a lot of support stuff through AI and those systems.
No, but primarily my question is that how does AI replace the peer-to-peer model? Or is it not?
The peer-to-peer, the human touch, the relationship touch will still be there.
Yeah.
Because hey, it's blood, it's not like, it's not some chemical, so we are humans. And
Well, it is technically chemical though.
but not a digitally created, it is created from like something divine. So actually that peer-to-peer touch is not going away with AI. Basically we will need more of that. Because most of our basic tasks are now AI based, so and humans crave for socializing. So we will still be there, but it will make
the IRL movement is going to be benefited from AI, right? That's what I keep hearing.
Yeah, I think it's like, humanity keeps going in circle. We don't like something. Like 30 years ago, consuming fat was not good. Now fat is good.
Yeah.
Right? Olive oil was not good.
Yeah.
Now it's good. More after margarine, right?
I remember like even 15 years back, I just had my cholesterol test and it was like higher cholesterol, and they said, no egg yolk, no this and that. And I felt miserable after 2 weeks, and I had to work around in my ways, and we can do a separate stuff on that. So why this field? What was your background? What you were doing before this?
But before that, can we also talk about Alaska?
Yes.
No,
we'll talk about, this part of my background, so I'll put that in there.
Yeah.
So I am from Alaska, and I am a stylist, and so I sort of was building my own career, and that's how I started building the startup. And I was just trying to solve my own problems, and I realized that it was a system problem that I was dealing with. And I started to get really passionate about the bigger picture. And being from Alaska, like we have different work
Cultures?
cultures and seasons. So like, for example, I work in the bridal industry. And in the summer, it's like we have a very short summer, so it's only a few months of the bridal industry there.
Yeah, where people do the open event and all that.
People, it's not too many people come to Alaska in the winter to get married in this time of year, but tons of people come from out of state to go.
Summers,
It's like an adventure destination place. So the business is like, super busy during that time. And then, but if I was in Hawaii, it's all year, right?
It's summer all year.
Right. So it depends on, like, for me, also education in other places was often happening during those times. But I'm not going to leave during the busiest season to go to the extension class in Georgia during the hottest time in Georgia, best time to be in Alaska. So you end up missing.
So what is the most adventurous thing you have done in the winters in Alaska?
Oh man, Northern Lights chasing.
Wow.
I heard that there's going to be meteor showers in New
Really?
York over the next 3 weeks.
What?
Yeah,
I didn't know this.
there are like amazing websites.
You'll get like 2 shooting stars per hour.
Wow.
So
Wow.
head out to any park.
Wow.
I went to
On
one
rooftops.
Yeah, I went to one like 3 hours in Jersey, and we stayed there the whole night, and we saw a big meteor shower like 3-4 months back. It was amazing.
Excellent.
And okay, so coming back to the thing you were telling about your experience and why this. So so Alaska.
So I just kept being like, why is this happening, or why is it so hard? Like, it can't be that the only way to be successful in the beauty industry is move to LA or move to New York. Like, that can't be the only answer, and so I started to just kind of explore, like, why is this happening? Or anytime there was a challenge, I would just ask why and kind of try to understand what the root of it was. And it took me on all these adventures, like following other people for education or going to local shops instead of going to like the traditional classes. And that's when I started to realize that this is how I wanted to live. This is how I wanted to learn. It was so much more rich because I was also building a relationship with somebody as I was learning more skill. And I just felt more connected to my craft because of that. And then other beauty professionals started asking me, how are you doing this? How are you shadowing? How do I do this? And actually one of my clients that was sitting in my chair told me about Startup Weekend, and that's when I started to learn about startups. I had never even heard the word startup
So
before.
it was very organic, yeah?
This was in like 2017.
Wow.
Yeah. What'd you ask?
So what I was saying that it was very organic.
Yeah. So we were just talking about ideas in the salon. Like, you just talk with people and tell them about your dreams, what you're up to, what they're up to. It's like a very, very rich, powerful place. Salons, barbershops, any of these, they're third spaces,
So you've basically disrupted this industry, which was for a select few, and you've sort of democratized it.
That's
and
the
now
goal.
Anyone can find a mentor through your platform.
Yes. Customized.
Or vice versa.
Yeah. I think the most exciting piece of it is that it's customized. So, like, I'm left-handed stylist, but I never found a left-handed teacher. And so this is something that you could say.
And you write from left hand as well?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm a left-handed as well. Yes.
So you found a left-handed.
Yes.
Non-stylist.
Exactly. And so it's like little things like that are very specific, that aren't going to be mass produced in classes, or, it would be harder to find or to access. You can just now go directly to the person, find them on the platform and say, I need to learn this skill. And that's the thing about, as you guys know, with creative skills, sometimes it's a tiny piece that you need to adjust, right? It's not like you don't need
it's like a craft, right?
Right, yeah, like if you're doing video editing, you don't need to know a whole workshop around video editing. You're like, how do I fix this one part of the edit?
And so it sort of puts everything in its place.
Yeah.
I mean, interesting. So, there are on TikTok and Instagram, you have thousands of content creators, beauty experts, so per
Yeah.
se, and they are giving out their craft in a way. So how does Beauty Voyage compete in that space, or does it better?
Yeah, I think, when we first started, that was like a question that a lot of investors would ask is like, what about YouTube? What about Instagram? And those places are great for inspiration, but they'll never replace lived experience.
The personalized.
Yeah, and also being in the wild, which is like what I love about shadowing. So going to a class, an orchestrated class, is like going to a zoo, where there's the tiger, but it's in a cage, it's safe, everything's good.
Yeah.
If you're going out into the wild and
Yeah.
running into the tiger, there's so many other skills you're gonna acquire from this experience.
Running especially.
Like, if you can shed some light on the relationships you are making in this process, because
Yeah.
from this point, I get that anyone can go on YouTube and Instagram and see dozens of videos and learn something. But what you are doing is basically creating a lot of mentors. It's a closed loop,
Yeah.
and you're making good relations. So
Yeah,
how it
yeah.
is affecting and how it is good for you.
Yeah, and I think that's something that sort of I think that's why most people end up getting into the beauty industry in the first place, is because they want connection and they are passionate about connection and they want to serve. And so when we take that and add that to the equation of mentorship, then everybody is getting what they came for, right?
Okay, got it.
And so it helps you to learn better because you have a person there that's like reflecting, but beyond just the actual exchange of the mentor experience, like say for example you're a salon owner or a barbershop owner, and I come and I shadow in your shop, and say you do that, you host 100 shadowers in a year. Now let's say your best barber, he opens his own shop and all the staff leaves.
Yeah.
Now you have 100 people that you have had relationships with, you've seen their work, you've engaged with them, that you could call them up and say, hey, want to come work for me? So it creates these openings to outside opportunities beyond just the mentorship section.
Like train the trainer as well.
Yeah, train the trainer.
It's sort of human resource staff.
So we're talking about like the value, the relationships is what you had asked me.
Yeah.
And like, what happens beyond, or like what else people get out of shadowing or building these mentor connections. And it's like true connectivity, and like in the beauty industry, it's built around luxury, right? Like glam is like, and that's also part of what allures people. That was part of what allured me as a kid, is I was like, I love the glam. Like I want to be, how do I get in here?
Yeah.
And actually I wanted to be a singer. And I want to be like Whitney Houston. And then I was like, okay, I'm not going to be a singer, so I'll be a hairdresser.
Okay.
It's just
Pretty close, yeah.
just as glamorous. So, like the glam is this idea, right? It's this idea of like elevated living, but what it really
So more than
is,
elevated living, Marie-Alice, I think it's more to do with performance.
well, what I was going to say is when you unpack, when you're like, okay, what does that really mean? What you unpack is it ends up being about connection and feeling connected to yourself, feeling connected to like how you're sharing yourself in the world. And that's what like beauty professionals, we know that's what the work that we do. But then like the industry itself has a bit of a superficial reputation.
Yeah.
But when you're inside it, that is not what's happening at all. It's
a
very
need.
human to human. It's very, it's about connection. And so we're like, well, what is the best luxury in the world is connection, right? You can take away all these material things, you can take away all of the extras. And at the end, if you have strong connections to others, you feel rich. You feel like it's the best.
So how many trainers or mentors you have produced in all these years, which are connected to your platform?
Yeah, so we just graduated from Techstars in December.
Okay.
I think January, December. And relaunched. So we've done like all these little small beta tests to different groups of people. And so right now we have 400 mentors.
Wow.
And it's a small team, so a bit overwhelmed. And so we like paused, adding more people. so that we can learn and do deep dives with each person to understand like what is here, what are we working with, how can we make sure that each of these people is really set up for success as far as we're teaching them something new and we're also giving them permission to be something new in the world, whereas the industry previously had said, you know, you kind of need to be on a stage to be an educator, or you need to be Instagram famous, or you need to be an influencer, and now we're saying you don't need any of that. And we have to teach people some of those steps.
So tell me something. How do the numbers look? My two questions when I say numbers. So firstly, what kind of engagement, or a better way to define the metrics for this, for my understanding, how many hours of training has been done through the platform? Is there a number?
Yeah. A couple hundred, and then we stopped tracking.
Oh, okay.
So, like we've tracked in different experiments to try to get these metrics. And, things that we're measuring are like return, like how many of the same mentors host sessions. That's success, right? When we have someone that comes back again.
Repeat customer.
Yeah. And on both sides. So it's the mentor is not really our customer, but they're our supply. And so that we have like the main customer, which is the mentee, who's actually paying the mentor, and that's generating through the platform. Yeah. But even though the mentor is not paying us, we can't do it without them.
Okay.
Right. So we have two customers. And we have to focus on making sure that this person gets what they want, the mentee, but we have to have the mentor's backs.
So Beauty Wash works on a commission or a fee.
Yeah, exactly. Just like Airbnb, Etsy, similar, same types of business model as them. It's so like
safe to say that you are the Airbnb of beauty industry.
Yeah, Airbnb. It's Skillshare of
Airbnb
beauty.
Skillshare.
Yeah.
All right.
Or intro.com. Have you guys used that?
No.
Yeah.
No.
You know what it is?
No, please explain.
It's like you can book a call with like the guy who started Facebook or like people like that, and you can. It's very expensive. It'll be like $400 for 15 minutes, but you can just have one question to ask them. And so it's video calls for experts.
So it is like recently launched, intro.com? Like,
they've been around for like 2 years or maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Good idea. Amazing.
But so I mean, I should be going over there charging people $400, right?
You
to
should,
give advice.
Exactly.
So we can make profiles on this?
So I think that I don't know, you have to have like, they have to...
Criteria to...
Of course, they have to approve, they have to vet.
So they're like, my marketplace is like, I don't want to become how intro is like expert of expert of expert.
Yeah.
They're like Facebook, the guy who started Facebook, right? Like it's like extreme founders. And I want it to be peer-to-peer. Like you learn from Beauty Voyage, that's the magic, is that you learn from your neighbor. If you're like barbering next to somebody for 10 years, you've learned like so much from being next to them and watching little things that they do. And that's what we're trying to replicate. Well, okay, I wanted to tell you about stagging, because that's what chefs do. So I learned about the medical world, and I was like, who's doing shadowing and skill sharing well, and what makes it work, right? And because like you said, competitive is like the nature of people get into scarcity mode when they, like I find that it's a lot of small business, right? Because in big business, there's abundance. So you're not really worried.
The industry is big and you have limited supply of.
That's the problem with small entrepreneurs. I feel personally that abundance has to be in the heart and the mind. Even if you run a small kitchen or you run a Michelin's 5-star, 3-star restaurant. Of course.
And that has to do with like, I think some people can overcome that. But if you've grown up in poverty, if you haven't experienced safety and wealth, or even wealth as in like just health, right? People live in scarcity because that's what they've been taught. And that's what they know. And they've never, like their nervous system hasn't ever been able, like, if I share with you, I lose. Like, that's the story.
But that's not true.
Which is not
true. The more you
true.
share, the more it grows.
Yes.
But I think less than 5% people get that message.
Yes.
I think 90 to 95% people, in my experience, is the same, that they are always scared to share whatever they have. And as an entrepreneur, when we all start, we had a small business day one. So for first 2-3 years, I was always living through this fear that what if they leave?
Would you believe when I made the company, I named it the Blue Dot.
The Blue Dot?
The Blue Dot, yeah.
Oh, cute.
Yeah, thanks. I made the logo and I had this blue color filled in the D of the dot and the O of the dot and the B of the blue, right? And I went to one of the best, the only person I consider who's better than me at branding and identity development for us. DMED Partnership is his agency in Pakistan. One of the best in terms of design. I still say I'm second. If anybody is better than me, it's him. He lived across my house. I wrote a letter to him, literally a letter, and I gave it to his guard. We have guard systems in Pakistan. We have guys standing at the gate as guards.
Security,
Yeah, and he went inside and then he wrote a letter back that why don't you come for tea at 4:30 p.m. on Saturday.
Wow.
And I went to him and I showed him, this is my logo. He said, all right, give me the logo. I'll fix it for you. Next day, he let the whole logo be what it was. He just took out the blue. He said, you don't need to have blue in it. It already has blue in it. Blue Dot. So you don't have to literally fill in the... So the logo,
subliminal messaging.
So yeah, that's what he helped me fix. He knew that some 13 years ago, back in 2012, when I was opening his agency, he had already done 15 years of his business. But he shared. And I asked for honest advice, and he said, why don't you come to my office? I'll introduce you to my team, and they'll send work your way that we are not taking, or maybe we can collaborate. And we did. So again, it didn't hurt his kitchen,
right?
But it helped me get that stepping stone. Yeah, and I'm always, even after 13 years, it's the most profound experience that I have as a startup, and I'm talking about him in good words. But then there were people like most of the people, the 95% that you were talking, so they were like, oh no, we don't have any clients. They won't tell me what their client's name was. They won't tell me what they did.
In this sense, I always say, and I believe that, and you might agree, you guys, that people are same across the whole world. This concept is very much generally out there, that and this is the biggest fear which I have to control with myself when I was doing my business, that what if I train them and they leave? This was always the question. This was always the question.
But then nobody would teach people, right?
But then I learned that you have to find that type of people, and they invest in them.
Exactly. So you get better at it.
So anything which you see according to your startup and thing which the future will look like, and what are the next steps you're looking at?
Are there any pivots in plan?
Extensions, as far as eventually we'll incorporate more types of AI and things like that, but we always want to center it around one-to-one and in person, and making sure that those are the things that are keeping beauty professionals connected, because it is a fragmented industry. And so the more that happens, the more we can grow with other things. Like you said, we're not replacing relationships with AI. We're using AI and all these other tools. There's even, all this technology will touch everybody, but it's already happening in the beauty industry for I always get AI and virtual, what is the virtual reality.
VR, AR, VR. Augmented reality and virtual reality.
VR, education, there's so much, right? It's limitless. So eventually you'll be able to do a VR mannequin head and practice your haircut and do something like that, right? So in the future, exactly. And that will continue to progress, but the craft of being someone that holds space and cares for other humans, that will always require other humans.
So how is the platform running right now? It's a website, it's an app?
It's a web app,
It's a web app. And which technology, you guys developed it yourself, or which technology
we
you guys
outsourced so I have a fractional CTO, and we hired we interviewed a few different development teams, and then circled back to one that I had found like in the very beginning. And it's funny how like full circles happen like that, you know, sometimes years later. But so yeah, we ended up going with the team in Helsinki, I believe.
Okay,
There,
wow.
yeah.
You're
Yeah.
Finland.
Europe.
Yeah, and it's you know, it's enough, right? And I think that's they are great, and I think that's one of the things to learn is like how can you be minimal now and have enough, because what we really need is more data, and we're just going to keep learning from all these interactions that our users have, and then we'll have to build more customized features moving forward.
So primarily the user base in terms of mentors, is it in North American region?
Yeah. Well, we tried to control that a little bit as far as like where we ran the ads, you know. So we didn't want to do what other marketplaces have done, where if it's location based, like Airbnb started in 3 cities. But for us, the mentorship, since it's a virtual and also it's like relational and passion, it's not necessarily about the location. So I might say, I want to learn from this guy in Chicago because I watched his Instagram, and it has nothing to do with the density of beauty professionals in that city. You know? And so we were basically just building based on the requests that the mentees were like, I want to learn from this person, or referrals. And then it started to kind of zigzag.
Any plans to go global?
Yes, absolutely. That's like very important.
Yeah, because you see, I've seen a lot of trends in beauty that even in the Western area, the beauty generally is associated with geography, right?
Yeah.
So I want
Culture.
Arab eyes.
It's very subjective.
Right? It's
Very
very
subjective.
right. I want that Turkish look.
Yep.
Or the Scandinavian.
Trends from culture. Yeah, like I'll tell you one of the most fascinating stories. Okay, so one of my adventures took me to Thailand, and I went to a hair school, and it was a nonprofit, and I wanted to know, you know, what would I learn in Thailand versus Texas versus Seattle? Like, what is happening here? So I was collecting all these experiences, and the school was in. Since it's a nonprofit, it was like a mission-based school. So it was in a part of Thailand that was like a red light district.
Right.
So this is the sad part, where it's like red light district. It was all these brothels, but it was fascinating to look at it through the lens of beauty and culture, because each brothel had like a different look.
Oh.
So there would be like a Thai person working at the Russian themed brothel, and they had the look of what was popular for Russian women, even though it was a Thai person or someone from another culture. And then you go next door, and it's like a different theme, like a German themed brothel. And so you'd have all these people that are not that culture, that were trying to fit in, that were being
not the same body type, not the same hair type.
Yeah, or they would have like giant lip injections or like blonde hair, and it was like costume, and it all looked very like, it was an exaggerated way of seeing this on like in a toxic environment, obviously, because it was, you know,
it's like AI generated humans.
it was just it was just wild, but it was so bold that it was easier to see in that sense, right? Where we're like, wow, this is all really just made up, because you go next door and they're quite literally selling this look, and then you go to this place and they're selling this look.
Have you been to Dubai?
I haven't yet.
So you have to go to Dubai. You have to go to Dubai,
Yes.
and there's a place called Global Village,
Okay.
and it's not available in every season.
Okay.
It's Global
the
Village.
winters.
It's a global village thing, and when you walk in, they make it every year, destroy it everywhere, and next year they again remake it.
What do you
and
mean
Global
village?
Village, and you know, it's like Pakistan, Thailand,
It's a huge
Afghanistan,
park, right?
Iran.
Okay.
They're
Huge
different.
park.
It's a big market where they set it up, and there's small stalls where vendors are selling products from different countries. So you go into Thailand, and then you can taste the Thailand ice cream and Thailand shoes and Thailand whatever, and then you go to Germany and Italy and France and US.
Yeah.
It's so diverse and interesting to watch.
Yeah.
You will enjoy that theme thing that she was mentioning.
Yeah.
I can think of Global Village only.
Yeah.
It's
Or
very
even,
unique to
even
Dubai.
like I started asking my clients stories of their travels, because a lot of people in Alaska, it's like, to live in Alaska you have to travel, right? It's like, it's just, I think, part of the nature of a lot of people that live there. And so I'd be like, all right, tell me about like your beauty experiences, after I would tell them all these things that I was learning. And I had a client who had gone to Turkey.
Yeah.
And he was in a barbershop, and they had like I forget what it was. He lit something on fire and was like burning the edges so close.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
And he was
Those
like,
are all the
what is
gimmicks.
happening?
Yeah.
Those are all the gimmicks.
It's all real material,
Yeah.
Instagram material.
Yeah.
Like fire pan.
Yeah.
There's a fire pan, there is this sweet which we eat in India and Pakistan and
Beetle
Bangladesh.
nut.
Yeah.
Beetle nut.
So we eat it after food as a
Digestion
as a
aid.
chewing gum,
Yeah.
and then they put something and they just
yeah.
I mean, it's like, Sizzler, right?
Yes.
You put Sizzler on the steak and
Oh
it
yeah.
doesn't
So-
change the taste or
Yeah.
anything, but it's just.
So if someone is
love
planning
it.
to visit Alaska, tell us the most important things which we should be seeing as a must.
You should be seeing a lot of warm clothes in your luggage.
That's one. Yeah, warm clothes is that.
My favorite place is Homer, Alaska. It's about 5-hour drive from Anchorage, which is like the big city. So for me, it's all about being by the water. And like, if you're by the water, there'll be mountains, and that's like the most beautiful contrast.
Wow.
So yeah, for me, it's like, get to Homer, go to Seward, get on a boat, get out into like, see the wildlife. You'll see whales, seals,
Bears as well.
bears. You'll probably see a bear if you're like hiking, if you're getting out on the land.
Got it.
Yeah.
She was talking about the lake water.
You could.
Yeah, no.
To whales.
But
You- you could see bears from the
water,
boat, though.
yeah, the water she's referring,
you're
there is
fishing.
bears as well. Because
The polar bears.
yeah, actually,
You can see
yeah,
a polar bear.
yeah, actually, the stream coming down from the rivers, they fish,
Yeah.
the fish into from that
Yeah,
from
I
that
have,
stream,
like, this vivid
and it's going into the sea.
Yeah, I have this vivid memory of being a kid. I think I was in 5th grade, and we took a float plane, a small plane, and that lands on the water.
Yeah, I love
And we
that.
were like, me, my grandfather, my sister, my dad were in a boat, and we were fishing, and we had caught fish, so we had all these salmon in the boat with us. And
Organic.
like, from here to that wall, there's 3 brown bears.
Oh god.
Oh
And
my god.
they're catching fish, and
And they were like, "What's up?"
yeah, they're just like the guide. I remember my dad and the guide getting into like a fight, because the guide, he's been out there a lot. So you can also get desensitized when you're out, and you're like, if you saw a bear versus me, I'd be like, whoa, a bear. And you'd be like, oh my God, My dad was like, dude, like, we have fish in the boat, like, we need to get out of here. It's fine,
Yeah.
it's fine. And it was just like this tense moment. And to me, I was a kid, so I was like delusional. I felt like we were at Disneyland.
Yeah.
Where you're like, of course there's a bear here. Like, what's
so,
this
like,
supposed
what
to
did
be?
the bear do?
Yeah.
Like bear was focusing on you guys, or he was just ignoring the. Like,
They were
I'm so
looking
curious
at
to know
us.
now.
They were looking at us. Like, they didn't come close to us. I think eventually my dad made the guy like move our boat.
So the bear was also decent.
But he was fishing. Yeah, the bear was.
He was,
not
his stomach was
desensitized.
full probably. He was not hungry.
He was, yeah. That was what the guy was.
He was not
saying.
hungry.
He's like, there's so much fish here. He's not worried or doesn't feel threatened.
Yeah.
Because
And
he has
also,
them.
yeah, I've heard that all these animals, especially the bear category, they love chasing. So
Yeah.
if you run, they are chasing you.
Yeah.
So you just stay still and
Yeah.
you complete your ground and you don't like.
I'll make a
run.
note
Yeah.
not to run.
Yeah, not to run. Yeah, I've seen a lot of videos around that.
Yeah, but yeah, protect your spine, protect your head. That's you're gonna have to watch a few more YouTube videos around bear safety. But
Okay.
And Leonardo DiCaprio's movie for which he got the Oscar.
what?
The Leonardo DiCaprio movie,
What about it? What did he do?
the bear fight.
Oh, I didn't see it.
No, I didn't see as well.
You guys have not.
No.
That's the only movie he got
Oh,
an
Oscar.
Oscar for.
Not for Titanic. even.
Not for Titanic. Oh, nobody cared when he did Titanic.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay.
oh yeah, that's
So-
the joke, right? Because I think he has like a meme where it's like he just like keeps doing all these amazing things.
And he does not get
Yeah. And even the Wolf of
that movie. I just forgot the name. Reverend. The Reverend.
Yeah, and also Wolf of the Wall Street. What a performance! What a performance! You know, but he didn't get an Oscar on that as well.
Yeah.
So I remember this. I remember.
He just got Reverend.
Okay.
And what they said was that, you know, the only reason he got Reverend was because he got people took pity on him.
I remember calculating how to run when I was trying to watch Northern Lights and Catskills in the night, and I was so worried to not get out of the car that I was scared that there might be some beer, and my kids were like, "Oh, beer," and all that stuff.
Oh, are there?
Yes, they are. Like, you know, I'm not sure, but there can be. But not in the, obviously they don't come like in the, like where there is a track and there's a lot of people, they don't come. But if you go up
they
there,
do in Alaska. There's bears.
But in the night,
in the middle
it's
of the
their
day,
territory.
They do come.
They walk through the neighborhood. So
They're like, "What's up?"
yeah, they're like, "You guys
Let's
have
go
any
into the shop."
snacks? What do you got?
Yeah.
Yes.
Check out the trash. Look for little.
Yeah, they
little
try to
tiny
look for food,
dogs.
right? Yeah.
While the bear gotta eat.
Exploring.
It's their territory.
What?
Actually, we invaded their
Yeah,
home.
for
They've been
real.
there before us.
It's
Yeah.
real. Okay, I want to ask you guys some questions though about so let's pretend we have a barber or a like this morning I met a brow artist, and this is real. So she's from Ireland and she moved to New York, and so she started a brow bar, which is like just eyebrows tattooing. And so she knows her skill, she's good at it, she has return clients, but she is overwhelmed with marketing and like using the tech. So we have beauty professionals are low tech people. So that's part of like why we have to make things so accessible and then educate and help be like the bridge, right? But if you were gonna like give her advice, how do you start with the overwhelm? There's so many ways to start marketing, like this is where we're at like zero. What's the next step?
So the first step for anything is, I mean, you do sort of a model. The first step is awareness, right? She must have a location where she practices from. But in today's world, she has to have a digital presence. So that's her website. But that's for her awareness, the services that she offers, and then you have the engagement part, the content that goes. And then conversion, right? Awareness, engagement, conversion.
Yeah.
And conversion is going to happen through the booking that she does and the content that goes on Instagram or any other social platform. So these are now the basics that any business needs. They need a website that works, that can take an order or a booking. There should be some content which is SEO compliant. So when somebody is looking for the best brow
Tattoo artist.
bar or artist in my neighborhood, then she should show up or they should show up, right?
Yeah.
So that's how it goes. And then again, I know it's not the most ideal case scenario for an artist to have another art like marketing, but they still will have to do it.
Right.
Because if you don't do it, you don't make any impact.
Yeah.
Right? So your question was that what's the bare minimum that they should have, right?
Yeah, or what's the next step of like going from zero to like they're overwhelmed because they hear things about, oh, Facebook ads do this, but she said, I don't know.
That's a much later step. The first thing is that they set up their digital identity, their digital presence. They start putting content. Those paid ads, it's secondary, and that's something which can be outsourced to specialists.
Yes.
Actually, this is a journey.
Yeah.
As Adnan said, that day one you are not doing everything. First, they should not be scared or feared of technology. They should learn. They should talk to the experts.
Yes.
There are people.
Yes.
Adnan and me both are like pretty much expert and gurus in this field, basically.
Yeah.
So what they can do is they can first understand the whole scenario, and they can go step by step. So first is existence. Like right now everyone has a home address. So every business has a website. That's their address.
Yeah.
That's where it starts from.
Yeah.
And then there is content strategy, their messaging, their SEO, as Adnan said, the keyword research and everything. And after that, in today's world, it's not just one thing. It's a mix of everything. It's mix of, for your business, it's a mix of pop-up shops, pop-up events, networking, Instagram Reels and TikTok and Facebook and LinkedIn, paid ads, SEO, and very good content and graphics. So it's a mix of these 5 to 7 things basically.
Yeah. And you can use AI to streamline some of those choices.
Yeah.
You can, but right now at this stage where AI is at, in my opinion, my humble opinion, nothing against AI. We use AI to, automate a lot of stuff and make things better for us. But in order for you to find a mistake that AI has made, it's more costly than getting some human to actually do it for you. Because see, AI is going to go through a code. They're going to make a permutation, and then they might bring something new. It's like you're generating somebody walking the streets of Morocco, and all of a sudden you will notice that one child has 3 hands.
Yes. I've seen that.
So that's the problem, and it will eventually be okay. But something which is very heart to heart, very personalized.
Personal.
You can't just have AI do your job.
No,
you
but you could use it as a thought partner, right? Like you could
thought
say,
partner, yes. But again, it gives you the same thing, right? I am a hairdresser in Miami, downtown. Give me a social media content plan. All right, here's your social media content plan for 4 weeks, and it's going to give me the same thing which he puts in LA. It's 90% will do the same thing, because but nobody will work. So nobody will think, all right, what is Mary Alice's personality?
Right.
How would she talk?
Right.
How would she want something to be projected? What's her art? So I know that something unique about her is that she's from Alaska.
Yeah.
Right? So my conversation and my content will always have a note of that. Yeah, what she likes. Does she like beer? So there could be a beer in her logo, right? She does not.
Yeah. So the thing you guys are discussing right now, let me share a very recent example in my business and my customer.
Sure.
Yes.
And there is this customer who was making a content studio, and they had this idea. They give prompt to AI, and they made some logo design landing page. It was done in 2 days. Okay.
Yeah.
But after they tried to do editing and to add the personality of the brand in the stuff, they were not able to do it. They come to us.
Yeah.
And then we gave around 1 month of service to them, and now their thing is presentable to the but they want to explain us, yes, AI helped us.
Yeah.
Yes, AI helped them make something which explained us the vision.
Right.
But then we did all the human touch to that, so that they're formally ready to go to investors, customers, and the launch.
Yeah.
So that's where AI helps in ideation and getting the raw idea to mind. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I love it for getting started, right? Like, 'cause that's where a lot of small business owners get stuck. It's like you get stuck at the barrier of entry of like, we need a rough draft, and then you see what AI gives you back, and you're like, okay.
So I'll tell you something. I'll give you another example. You asked that how could a small business owner take expertise from AI.
Okay.
Remember back in the day, 15 years ago, 16 years ago, Facebook advertising started. Anybody could do it.
Yeah.
It was cheap. The interface was simple. You put in the place that you want your ad to be shown, and it would show an ad based on the interest.
Wow.
It's not like that anymore.
Right.
There's a whole algorithm that goes behind it. You
Yeah.
have to have specialists doing it.
Yeah.
Right now, AI is free. You go to ChatGPT, you key in something, you get something. Just imagine 2 years down the road when Sam Altman decides to charge you, and then you can. Then you need to be educated on another thing, which is AI to do marketing.
Yeah.
That's why a subject matter expert is irreplaceable.
Yes.
Just like you mentioned, mentee. I can go watch a YouTube video, but it's not the same as shadowing an actual human learning that specific skill of cutting hair with the left hand.
Yes.
How is it different from a right hand to a left hand?
Yeah.
Right? And that's the craft. So that craft is going to be missing always.
Yeah. And I think artists love, like, they value, so my customers are artists, right? Beauty professionals.
Yeah.
And so they love working with other artists because it's already so personal. Their business is, like, they understand that very well. And so I think that, like, for them, that's not missed, right? They're like, yes, I want a person, I want another artist helping me collab to make my brands. So I think they're already shying away from technology more than maybe different types of small businesses.
Plus, it's not worth their time, right?
Yeah.
So, recently, I worked with a beauty brand, and that person, incidentally, is based out of New York, Brooklyn. So she said, I want a logo for my beauty bar. And that's a very generic brief. So I cross-questioned. I said, what are you famous for? I cut great hair. All right. How many times do you cut? I only operate 3 days. All right. I know you're hard to get, which means that you are super good and super busy.
Yeah.
What does your space look like? She said, it's like a regular space, but I have a very big yellow sofa.
Yes.
Right. I said, all right. That's one unique thing about you. What else? On you as person. She said that I always have my sunglasses on top of my head, even when I'm working.
That's her signature, you know.
So that's her signature, right? Something that came.
Yeah.
So we created a logo for her. There was a huge yellow sofa
Yes.
with a bag and the big white sunglasses that she wears, and then her name under it.
Cute.
So it's not now AI will not give you that look.
Right.
Because AI will not ask you what's so personal about you,
Right.
what makes you
Yeah.
different than any other beauty
Yeah.
bar.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, and it's very, like if you say, like I've tried some of the image generation and it's like very literal, I guess, right? If you're like, I want a blue hat and with a dog, I don't know. It's like, it's close, like all the ingredients are there, but you're like, we're still
Doesn't
so
feel
far
right.
away. We're
Yes.
still so far away from like,
But
what
still
else?
humans can see those and tell you this is AI.
All right.
Okay.
So, we have this thing now. It started as an accident and now it keeps going because when the first time we were interviewing the first episode last season, we were short on questions because we did not prep that well. So
We were new
Spontaneous.
I
I
had
love
a
it.
question, and this question will also prove that if you watched any of the episodes from the first season or not.
Oh, no.
Don't put that on test.
So this is sort of a spot question, but again, it could be
Anything.
The answer can be anything, right?
Okay,
And so I
okay.
always create this suspense before.
Yeah, the momentum is building.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like already thinking and I don't even know what I'm thinking about.
I'm in the hot seat. What's going to happen, right? So, what is the gray matter to you?
Oof. The gray matter is, okay, this is so perfect. So recently, I went to, have you guys heard of the Earth Room in New York City?
Earth Room?
Yeah.
No.
You have?
The experience, yeah?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna have to go. You're gonna have to take, have you been?
No, I've seen
Okay.
the video.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, okay.
So, the Earth Room is an art exhibit in New York City, and it's like an entire apartment filled with dirt.
Dirt.
3 feet this high, empty apartment, just dirt.
Okay.
And you walk in, and it's like a nice apartment. And so it's like this audacity, but it's empty. It's just dirt. It's the earth. It's like a piece of earth in the middle of this crazy city.
Wow.
And it's like so powerful.
Okay. Okay.
And so I went to go see it because one, it's just like a New York moment, right? How is this happening?
Yeah.
First of all, the rent.
It's
Who's
the New
paying
York crazy.
Yeah.
Whose house is this? And yeah, it's just crazy because it's been there since the 70s, I think. It's been there
Okay.
for a long time.
Okay.
That exhibit.
Just
And
sitting
that is
there.
great?
Well, it's not great,
we'll
but
see how she links it up.
when I thought about it for like the whole day, and I was like, you're sitting there and you're like, what are we looking at? And you're like, I'm like, this is not nature because I'm used to like wild nature, but still, even the tiniest little piece of nature amongst a city and so much humanity, you can still feel like this peace, right? And so I started thinking, and it brought me, just the space in itself was like the in-between, and I think it brought me back to this concept that I learned from a musician it's a Japanese word called ma, and it's about the space in between. And so like in Japanese culture, there's minimalism in lots of like
Yeah,
interior
yeah.
design. And when Americans look at it, or when we're sort of taught about minimalism, it's like emptiness, right? But in Japanese culture, that means there's fullness in the room.
Yeah.
Because there's space for possibility in between. Like this takes up space. If it's not here, there's more possibility. But this is occupying that,
Yeah.
And that's what I think gray matter is.
Wow.
That was beautiful. Beautiful topic. Because gray matter, literally, if you see our social pages, so the description is the space between
Okay.
intuition and action,
Oh my God. Yes.
initiative and result,
Beautiful.
0 and 1.
Yeah.
So that's what the gray matter is. It could be anything,
Yeah.
right? It's the matter between
And-
the two ears. It could be something that I want to do this and I'm achieving this.
Yeah.
So it's that part where the birth of action takes place in a way.
I love it.
And that's what that apartment actually does, right? That's in the middle of all of this earth,
Yeah.
which has been restructured to
Yes.
look like buildings.
Yes.
There is earth in its true form.
And it's just holding space, right? Like it's not.
Occupying.
Yeah, yeah. It's like, but people are coming there, so it's not like nothing's happening. Just by being there, thousands of
And it's
people
talking.
are coming to visit.
And for me, agreed that your point of view, my gray matter is when you mature, you realize that most of the things in life is all happening in the gray area. Nothing is black and white.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Yes, yes,
career,
yes.
life, personality,
Yeah.
health, startups, success or not successful, like everything is
Yes.
happening in the gray area.
Yes. So true.
But Mariel is what I thought would be a good 35-minute conversation.
Went over.
Went beyond, which is good.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
we will now say our goodbyes. And once the edit is done, we'll see this episode and enjoy.
Yes.
Thank you.
All the
Thank
best to
you.
you and thank you very much for being
Thanks
on
for
our show.
having me.
Thank you very much for
Thank you
coming.
guys.